Hey KW Newtown, just wanted to record a quick video on how to utilize Google Meet. A lot of people ask questions on how they can use it so that they can still virtually meet with their clients. It's really easy to use, and it's part of your G Suite with your Keller Williams Gmail account. So I'm going to walk you through how to use it, and this will be good practice. So I'm going to start by presenting my screen to you. So I'm going to start present now and show you my entire screen. And that's going to be so I can start a brand new meeting, so I can walk you through from square one how to start your new meeting. So in just a second, my screen's going to show up. It should be showing now. So you're seeing my screen of where I'm presenting to everyone. I am going to go over to another browser so that we can start from the beginning for starting this meeting. So I'm going to go over to Firefox. I would recommend generally using Chrome. I'm only using Firefox because I'm already in Chrome in a meeting and I need to start another one. So I'm going to go to meet.google.com. Okay. If you're already logged into a Gmail account, you should see some sort of permission to either join a meeting or start a meeting, depending on what email account that you're in. So I'll show you an example. I'm going to switch over to my agent services at gmail.com, not my Keller Williams one. So I'm logged into my agent services at gmail.com. I went to meet.google.com, and this is the screen that I see. I only get the option to use a meeting code to join a meeting. I don't have the option to start a meeting because that's an extra piece of G Suite that comes with the business account. So I'm going to want to make sure that I'm switching my account and logging into my @KW email address. So I'm going to click on my little icon here. It might be your headshot, but I'm going to choose basically my account to switch my account up here. So I'm going to choose switch account, and I'm going to do it the long way. I'm going to choose use another account as if I wasn't already logged in to my @KW email address. And I am going to log in to my @KW email address. You're going to want to make sure that you're if you don't do this often, make sure that you type out the entire email address. So for me, it's CaitlinNichols@kw.com. Don't drop off that @kw.com. It has to be in this box. If it's not in there, Google doesn't know where to go. It thinks that it's going to an @gmail.com, and it's going to keep telling you that your password's wrong, and that's not right. So when it's asking for your Google account, you're going to use your @KW one. So whatever that is for you, @kw.com. I'm going to hit next. I can go ahead and put in my password. So now that I'm in my @KW account at Google Meet, I have the option to join or start a meeting. Now I have the option to start a meeting. So I'm going to go ahead and choose that option, join or start a meeting. You can give it a nickname if you wanted to, so maybe it's your client's names. You don't have to. I'm just going to skip it for now, so I'm going to hit continue and move on. Okay, so this is the start page for creating my meeting. It's not fully active yet. I haven't joined my own meeting yet. It's just basically getting it ready for me. So now here's where I'll see the link that I can share out to my clients. Or whoever it is that I'm meeting with, that I can send it to them by an email, or I can send it to them by a message. I'm going to go ahead and join my own meeting to kind of start it and get everything going. And as soon as I start the meeting, it usually brings up a pop-up of how I can share it. So again, that same link with the same joining info, I can hit this copy joining info and just copy it to my clipboard, or I can paste it wherever I want, or I can add people and invite them individually by email address. So I can just start typing in email addresses, and I'll show you what the email looks like in a minute. There we go. All right, so that's how I know they're added in, because they're in a bubble with that little X. It's where I can add in as many as I need. It's going to tell me that it doesn't belong to the Keller Williams Realty like business account. That's obvious. That's going to be for any client that you're putting in there because they aren't. But they will still be able to join it. They're going to get an email. Don't worry about that error message. So I'm going to send the invite to myself, and I'm going to show you what the email will look like on their end to join the call. So let me go ahead and get into my email. There we go. So this is what the email looks like. Caitlin Nichols Me is inviting you to join a video meeting happening now. The reason why it says happening now is because I'm currently in it, and it is happening now. With the way that you're sharing out the invites for these meetings, you can't create the URL super far in advance. You're basically creating it shortly before you're going to have the meeting. So just make sure that you're letting whoever it is that you're meeting with know that ahead of time. Hey, I'll send you the link 15 minutes before our meeting time. Join anytime that you're ready, between that time frame and the time that we're meeting. And you'll just be sitting here with it on in the background while you're doing other things on your computer, or you're just waiting. But you do have to leave it open. You can't start the meeting, share that URL, close out the window, and go back. It will log you out of the meeting. So once you start the meeting, you're keeping that window open. So like I said, do it like 15 minutes before you're going to actually meet. Okay. So we're in this meeting. I invited my people to it. I'm going to show you how you can now share your screen. My advice when you're sharing your screen, it depends on what you're trying to do. You have an option. There's present now down here. That's what we're going to go ahead and click. You have an option to either share a window, which means just the window that I have open right now, and I'm going to choose right now what window I'm sharing. Or I can just show my entire screen. So anywhere I click, if I minimize this and go to another window, or I go into PowerPoint and then I close it out and I come back to this window to show them something else, and I show them something in a web page, they're able to see everything that I'm doing. When you're sharing your entire screen, you want to be cautious of what you have open. If you have 100 things open, you were watching Netflix before you got on this call, they're going to see everything that's active and open. And if you move past some open tabs, they can see it all. So you're going to want to make sure that you have everything opened that you want to have open, already ready to go, so they don't have to wait for things to load. So we're going to choose entire screen to share. All right, and with Firefox, it has extra securities. Excuse me. Chrome, it won't really ask you if you want to, like, for extra permissions to share your screen, but Firefox does. So you may or may not run into it. So now I'm sharing my screen on this. I'm sharing my entire screen. It shows that I'm presenting to everyone. It means that anything that I'm doing, you're going to be able to see just like you have been this whole time. So I'm going to go ahead and say, I started this meeting, me and my clients have been chatting. Now I want to open up PowerPoint and show them my listing presentation. Just as an example, I already have PowerPoint open and it's open on my taskbar. So I'm basically I had it minimized. I'm now opening it back up to now go through my presentation with them. That would be my advice. Have the PowerPoint presentation that you want to show them already opened up and then minimized on your taskbar, so that it's just a matter of, bringing that screen back up and not opening up PowerPoint, waiting for it to open, and then also waiting for you to try to find the file of what you're trying to send them. They're seeing everything that's on your desktop. Just have it already opened. I think it will go a lot cleaner for you, so just be prepared ahead of time. But from here, I have my presentation. I can start it in presentation mode and click through my slides. And they'll be able to see everything that's going on my screen. They're also going to be able to see my face the whole time. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize that. And I'm going to show you a couple other things. I want to show you the chat function on here. So up here, there's a little chat box. If you're dealing with a client that doesn't have a webcam, so you can't see their face, you can't see how they're reacting, you can't hear the questions that they have, some people will lean on the chat. Or maybe you're doing a virtual meeting with a husband and a wife and they logged in separately. People get nervous to talk over each other. So sometimes they won't speak up at all. They'll just mute themselves and not really want to speak. So a lot of people will rely heavily on the chat function if that's the type of situation that we're dealing with. If we're one-on-one, you should get along just fine if they have a webcam with a microphone and they're able to interact with you. If they don't have a webcam or a microphone on their computer, so an example would be like if they only use a desktop computer that doesn't have a webcam and any of that functionality in it, you're going to want to find some sort of workaround so that you can hear the questions that they have when they have them. So you can do a couple things. You could have them log into the meeting through the mobile app and then that will, their phone does have a forward-facing camera, so it would solve that problem of them being able to have their face show if they logged in on the mobile app. It's Google Hangouts Meet is the name of the mobile app. So they can either do that, or they can use the link and view your presentation on their computer, and you guys can have a conversation on the phone. You could just call them directly on their cell phone, and that way they can ask questions as they have them as you're working through your presentation. That's a workaround for people that don't have webcams. But most people, most laptops, if they're working off a laptop, have a webcam. Most people work on their phones anyway, so you could utilize the mobile app and rely on that. Okay, so we talked about chat function, we talked about sharing our screens. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to stop presenting your screen. We're just gonna hit stop presenting, and it would go back to my face. In this Firefox window where I'm doing my secondary meeting to show you, my webcam's already being used on the other one, so it's not showing me twice. That's why it looks a little bit funky. Show you another functionality that I'm actually using right now to record this. You can be by yourself in a meeting and record it. So in these three dots down here, you have more options, and you have the option to record a meeting. Maybe that's you running through your listing presentation by yourself, recording the whole thing, and then sharing it out for people that can't make the virtual calls. Could really be, maybe it's just you recording a message for your clients. You can use this as a way to record yourself speaking, record yourself sharing your screen. And once you record it, it will send you an email notification that the recording is ready, and then you can download it to your computer and send it to whoever you want. The recording only goes to you. So you would hit record meeting, you would start recording. And it'll load for a second. Okay, so now it's recording this meeting. Let's say I'm now done recording. I'll hit these three dots, stop recording, and it will send me an email with the link to the video in my drive. Okay, so this meeting, let's say that our meeting's done here. I'm gonna go ahead and hit down here, the little red hang up button to leave the call. And then it gives me the option to return to the home screen, or I can jump back into that meeting if I needed to right away, but we'll say that we don't really need to. So I'm going to close out the screen, and we're going to go back to here. Okay. That's the quick version of how to get through Google Meet. If you have any questions or you need any help, you can contact me or Trish. You have our cell phones, you have our emails. Just let us know, but I wanted to send this out real quick just because a lot of people are asking, so I hope it helps.